Hello and welcome back, everyone, for our Rally Cry halftime show, the last of the day, as AOE pick up a win against Evil Genius Challengers. And I gotta say, Concept played pretty well. He got the early gank, but he was not getting blown up by Sturdy, and he did pick a carry champion. So we're seeing some growth here, Mazel. Concept stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, I love to see it, right? These guys know each other so well. Got to hear Sturdy talk a little trash, but Concept answered with stability in the top lane. That's what we were asking for, right? You don't need to win that top lane. You just need to make sure Sturdy doesn't destroy you up there. And I think he did a really good job while not sticking to tank champions as well.
Played his role, but Cubby, when we look at how they won the game, I also want to bring attention to the fact that everywhere else on the Rift was kind of popping off. The range advantage in the bot lane. I'm going to say this Alistar playing goalie incredibly well. There was that one big fight, absorbed so many abilities, even though they did technically lose that one. But then shout out to Darkwings, who are going to solo kill onto Ryoma, so things really came together for AOE.
Yeah, I mean, once the early game falls apart there for EG, I think this draft's really tough to execute. Ziggs gets ahead. There's so much value for Ziggs in this game. And yeah, I don't know. I want to see a different approach here from EG in this next one, as I think Darkwings has proven that his Tristana is good, and this is a matchup into the block that I favor for Trist, and he was able to win. So maybe see something a little bit different from EG this time around.
Shout outs to all the players from AOE for also ending what was almost feeling like a curse for them as well. I mean, they were on, I know they were able to pick up a win, but a couple 0-2s in their recent weekends. So happy to see them already get an early lead here. We'll see what happens going into game number 2, but that means that we're ready for that Rally Cry halftime show while the players rest, recuperate, and recover, getting ready for that next match. We're going to play a little bit of a game. So return to one of my personal favorites. Cubby, I know you love this one, and I love putting Mazel through it, because Mazel's probably one of the worst players.
Don't worry.
You know what? Deserix is worse. I will say Deserix is worse than you.
That's good to hear, but I'm just saying, don't worry. I'll catch you outside, all right? I got you later this split. I'm going to be your host.
Oh.
Watch out.
All right, well, we'll see what happens then. We're playing Pixel Perfect.
Whatever you do here,
All right, everybody. Now, if you don't know the rules, I was taking screenshots throughout that last game that I felt were key moments that really encapsulated the story of the game. Some of them are 16-bit. You can tell what's going on. Some of them are 8-bit. It's really hard. It's getting granular. Some of them are 1-bit. Almost impossible to tell what's happening in the image. Now, 16-bit's worth 1 point, 8-bit's worth 2, 3-bit is worth 3 points. We'll keep track to see who has a better memory, the play-by-play caster or the caller caster. And I'm going to give it over to Team Play-by-Play to go first. Mazel, I'll let you pick 16-bit, 8-bit, or 1-bit. Which would you prefer?
I don't want any of them.
You don't want to relinquish the copy? That'd be a first ever to relinquish your first pick.
No. No, I'm going to give myself a break. I usually am like, I'm going to get them wrong, so I'm going to go with 1-bit. I'm going to go with 16-bit. I'm still going to be wrong. But we're going to start
somebody
off easy.
does it the chronological order.
I'm still going to be wrong, 100%.
Generally, they go through the actual order of the game. Can you give me the context of this image that you see on your screen right here?
Yep.
Cubby's
Shut
got
up,
it.
Cubby.
Mazel, 5,
Shut up.
4, 3, 2.
I have no idea. It's Maokai. It's the Maokai Twisted Advance where they like kind of connected or disconnected on bot side.
That is incorrect. Cubby, would you like to steal?
No,
Yeah,
you wouldn't.
I will. I'm going to need some props for this.
Okay.
First, we have a bouncing bomb, and then a satchel charge, and each base got canceled.
That is correct. This is the early game. The Ziggs was able to just harass the entire laning phase, but this one really felt like it was what encapsulated. It is the fact you're stopping the bags. You're constantly poking out the Aphelios. Cubby, you talked about this. The range advantage for AOE was pretty big here.
It's not just that. It's like the safety of these two carries, too. I love Tristana Ziggs as a pairing. I think that each brings some peel for one another, but also the damage, and it's really tough to interact with them if they get ahead, and that's exactly what we saw in this game.
Especially damage to turrets. So, sorry, Mazel, you gave up your point. It was stolen. And now it's over to Cubby, who's up 1 point. So, 1 point to Cubby. Thank you, production, Cynthia, for updating that on the fly here. Cubby, what would you like to go for?
You know, usually I start off with an 8-bit, but since I stole that one, and that's my warm-up, we'll go 1-bit.
Let's go.
Bring it.
So these ones are the harder ones to tell. Let's see. This 1-bit image. Can you tell me the context of what is happening here?
Oh, it gets worse when you do.
Yep, it gets really worse. That's what I'm telling you.
Worse.
All right, break it down what you're seeing on the screen, Cubby. Is there any hints on here as to what's happening?
Yeah, there are a few.
5.
This was the
4.
second Herald fight. Or no, this was King pushing forward and cleaning up at the Baron fight. As, yeah, he was able, yeah.
That is correct. So,
Yeah.
key things to highlight here. That was the cool moment where he gets a triple kill, but I would say the more impactful moment was Surdy on the Renekton actually buying so much space for King. This is the cool one to highlight, though, and also it's really fun to get all those particle effects into one frame. But remember, this started with them throwing everything at an Alistar, who had ultimate available, absorbed so many of those cooldowns. Interesting that Evil Geniuses were still able to pull this out, but this was like the one big play that they had, right? Where they actually felt like, okay, maybe King can pop off here. Mazel, I know that you were popping off here too.
It's a gotta provide whatever good gameplay is put in front of you. And
Oh, yeah.
it was kind of those desperate moments for EG, but I love to see King step up in moments like this. It has been consistent from him that he has been one of our best ADCs in the league. So still a lot of fight left to give for EG.
There we go. Let's see if they can do it again. But now it's over to Mazel.
I don't have any fight left to
That's
give.
actually 3 points earned by Cubby right there. So Cubby should be at 4 points because that was a 1-bit. 1-bits are worth 3. So 4 points to Cubby, 0 for Mazel. What would you like to go
I
for
was
here,
gonna
Mazel?
do this whole bit where I like called how cool your emote is down there, but now I don't want to because you gave him extra points. Anyways.
You know what?
You got the one
Cynthia,
bit
let's
down
give
there.
Mazel a free point for complimenting my emote.
All right,
Why
cool.
not?
You see that emote
Why
down
not?
there?
Yeah,
That's
there we
cool.
go.
You should
Throw it in there.
subscribe to both this channel and
hey,
Path to LCS. Let's go! All
right.
If you
What
do
you wanna go
get
for,
these
Mazel?
emotes to use, I want to go for 1 bit.
1 bit.
Also, if you get the subs, 50% goes to teams and players. Anyways,
Absolutely.
yeah, give me the 1
We
bit.
love it. We love to support the teams and the players.
I just
and we
want
love
points, man.
to see
No,
what
you
Mazel
don't.
can make out of
Oh, I
this
don't know this
1-bit
one,
image.
actually.
What is going on in this picture? Give me the context. What's going on? Give me anything to work with.
Oh, wait, good call, actually.
It's at the outside bottom right of the base on blue side, like right where that little rock is. I'm trying to figure out what
No,
was
good
it.
call,
Was it
good
bot
call.
lane on the snipe where they were trying to get the big Infernum combo on the the last ditch effort in the
Give it to him.
game?
That's
Yeah,
good.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
give it
that's
to
good.
him. I'm
That's
gonna
good.
What I was looking for was the Ziggs bomb threading the needle. You were highlighting it, Mazel, as again the range issue.
Yeah, I
with
focused on King, not on Lynx. Lynx gotta smurf this fight right here. I'm just saying.
a little bit. So this bomb takes about half of King's health bar down.
And then he gale forces into the minefield.
Yes.
Don't worry about that one. And then he also eats 2 bombs
Maybe a
in the
little
face. It's okay.
Maybe a little bit. All right, there we go. 3 points over to Mazel. Wow, Mazel, you're doing great. Good job.
Just end right here, right?
Good job.
Like,
You're killing this. Well,
You got
it
a
is
game to
Cubby's
get to,
turn now.
Cynthia? Do you just want to kick us?
Zach, do I have an 8-point available to me?
You have
Or
one
8-bit?
16-bit and 2 8-bits.
Yeah, I'll take an 8-bit.
You'll take an 8-bit. All right, what is the context of this image that you see on your screen, Cubby?
This is the dive where they chunked King very heavily and got the dive off for free.
That is
Nice.
correct. Again, the Ziggs. A lot of Ziggs highlights here is that the range advantage of this champion, not only poking out, not only making it hard to team fight, but also going for plays like this, and Will is so willing to pull the trigger on these types of plays, but
Now,
it's set up by the Ziggs to start.
If you subscribe to twitch.tv/PathLCS, you could use the 5-head emote we have. 'Cause
Oh, wait a minute. That's a good one.
So far.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I mean,
That's
I'm
no
throwing
man
up
is
dabs,
always
but I feel like, it's been pretty 5-head so far.
You gotta shave your hair.
This one's for part of my take, Big Cat,
All right. Well, we only have about a minute left. We got 2 more to get through. Do
16,
you want
run it.
16 or 8? You want 16-bit?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
my
gonna get another
goodness.
one wrong.
You're just going to give over the... You're tied. If you take... Okay,
Yeah, no,
whatever.
if you
you
take the
said
8-bit,
it.
you win, my friend.
Yeah, if you
No.
took the 8-bit, you
No,
could win it.
'cause
But
I'm
let's
gonna
see.
get it wrong. I want to steal it.
You gotta
What
get
is the
this one.
context of this image right here in the
Oh, goodness.
16-bit?
So that's Darkwing's rocket jumping early game to try to get the 1v1, and does end up getting the 1v1 like delayed buster shot.
There
There
it
we go.
is.
That's what I was looking for. If you had only said
Yeah.
trying, I wouldn't have given it to you, but he does get
No,
the solo
he
kill
gets
here.
the calc, bro. He gets the calc.
There we go. All right, Mazel up to 7 points, which means that Cubby,
Get it wrong, Cubby.
you get
know
one
where it
8-bit
lies.
chance here to close us out. If you get this, you win. If you don't, Mazel can steal. Either way, Mazel wins, actually.
As
What
Celine
you got?
Dion once said, give it to me.
What is the context of this
oh,
image?
snap. Wait, I actually don't know.
Oh!
Oh no!
What is this?
Oh!
It's a flash.
It is.
Mazel, do you have any thoughts?
This can't be Ryoma flashing
I
air,
have
because that was the
thoughts.
last play.
Picking Ban's about to be ready, so give it to me.
No, I actually lose this one, because Mazel got 3 points.
Mazel, you think?
I don't know what
random
you're
ones.
talking about. What do you mean?
If you get us right, though, technically we would tie. So
We
I'd
would have
respect
tied.
that.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea. It's a flash in top side, I think, in the place of above Krugs, but I don't know.
This is the
Okay, it
buster
wasn't
shot
even.
that followed Smoothie all the way there. And what I wanted to highlight here is how well
Look at the
AOE was
scoreboard.
able. How well
respect
AOE
that.
was able to control the river against the Maokai. Very tough to do, but they always controlled the access points to the jungle, and Maokai was never able to really get in there. But that's it for our Rally Cry halftime show, because Pick and Ban for game number 2 is ready. So for the final time today, I'm going to pass it over to the casters.
Thank you for passing it to the victorious caster and myself. I did not get a free 3 points at all during that game show, and we will see what happens in game number 2, our final game of the day, right, Cubby?
Yeah, we don't have best of 3s here. It's best of 2s. We keep it on time for the broadcast.
On time. I'm just looking for beggars. We got AOE on the blue side this time with EGC on the red. We get the Zaya ban. That was the Kindred ban over there from AOE. The Nico joins the ban table yet again for EG.
Yeah, Shaden has gotten Kindred banned away from them in the majority of their games so far this split. As no surprises there. EG not wanting to deal with the LeBlanc themselves. Will say, I still really think you can play Tristana into that LeBlanc matchup on this patch. I don't know if we have. I don't know if we have just this week of this patch, or if we go to 13 next week or the week after. But that is a pick that I want to see more of our teams actually pick up. As Darkwing's proved it's really good. You've seen a lot of it in LPL, Mazel. We've seen even more of it in LCK. I think it's pretty easy to replicate that lane. And expect a lot of our pros to be able to do so, as another respect ban being thrown at Surdy to wrap things up for AoE will be that cannon taken away. That does leave some OPs up, as AoE, they have loved the Vi.
The Tristana ban, there it is.
But also,
just ban both of them out.
They've loved the Vi, but also Ivern's up. And we'll see, because Sejuani, I will say, in order to get Sejuani played, I've seen a lot of Ivern and Vi bans to clear out. The Shaden has an option of whether or not he wants to play that Ivern or Vi here. Or, of course, take another answer, as if he wants to go for something like Graves, something that we know Shaden for, could be a choice. But honestly, I'm expecting to see a Vern here for EG. I think that might be the count.
Whatever it is, I just want to see decisiveness from EG and a little bit of fight back from that game number 1. They needed advantages early with that last draft. And while maybe they're changing things up here, they go with the Azir. I still expect them to try to find some sort of stable ground earlier on.
First Azir of the split for Ryoma, who has been pretty much... It was his first LeBlanc of the split last game, too. But he's put in on Ahri Syndra duty for the majority of the split. I think Aphelios is probably going to be the take here. But they could be worried about the Ziggs. I will say Ziggs does interact pretty well with Azir plus Aphelios. If EG doesn't want to have that again. Again, they could pick Ivern here. Which, for me, that's the choice.
Okay.
But no, going to be the Maokai. So still going to play a little bit slower with that Maokai.
Interested that they wouldn't go with like a Jace or something to pair that one up with the 1-2, but the Maokai is the choice here. They're going to try to go with a lot of spacing and a lot of control around the objectives. While right now for AoE, I'm looking for more skirmishing for them, and they go ahead and lock in that Jax. Side lane's going to be a bit of a doozy for the side of EGC, and Concept's going to be right at home on that one. We also get the Ezreal locked in for King.
Blind Ezreal. This is one of those games where I would advocate... I would actually advocate for Kai'Sa, but not the AP build. I think that there's too much magic damage on EG if you go for AP Kai'Sa. But Kai'Sa is a really good matchup in Ezreal. You can play in the Jax plus Sejuani well. And it's a champ that I know King's good at. I know that Tristana's taken away. But okay, instead of the Aphelios, actually will be the Jinx. So again, Jinx is here. Very solid core. You have some great peel and Maokai. So EG definitely planning to set up this 2-threat comp later in the game. So I expect to see AoE maybe take away a couple of those AD matchups that Jax doesn't want to quite deal with. And then also could narrow up some of those support pairings if they don't want EG to have any of those. Whereas EG going to do the same. Taking away Karma, I think that's a good call.
I do really like the Jinx pick here, though. Not only giving King a lot of momentum to thrive off of. You saw he was thriving off of the pressure last time around, but the fact that the Ezreal can be pushed into a little bit, I'll see if they can take advantage of that. We do get the Melio and that Karma ban.
Okay, I'm actually surprised that EG took away the Rakan themselves. That tells me they could be looking at a Braum. As Braum does pair up pretty well here. You already have main engage from the Maokai. And you would be a bit of a denial from the side of Sejuani. Now, there has only been one Braum game for Smoothie. And, of course, they could hide that support pick and take it on 5 if they just want to take the top lane counter now. So, Renekton will be taken away. And you called out the Jace, Mazel. I gotta say, Jace, probably not going to be the option, given that it is Sejuani Jax. But Gangplank, Cassante, either or. I think
one of the aggressive top laners. Just find something to give Surdy advantage in the 1v1 because that's where he thrives. We'll see the Cassante locked in. So meta decision for Surdy.
I do like King Flash and the Camille. Surdy, very, very good Camille player as... Oh, boy! Look who's back, baby. It's Ziggs again.
Go.
Ziggs mid.
And B. And
we should
we'll
expect
see.
Ziggs mid.
Could be, you have a little bit of flexibility.
Can't be Ezreal mid, guys. Can it?
Can it? Can it? Can it? I guess we'll find out very, very shortly as the Nautilus lock-in does signify Breezy getting a lot of forward aggression and getting a lot of engages to follow up with Will.
I would prefer Braum Leona over Rel here. I think that Nautilus can cancel some of Rel's engage. Braum can either eat it all, and then you can turn everything on to whatever target gets tagged by the Braum, or if you Leona, you always have pressure onto the Ziggs. But oh, actually, interestingly enough, might be Enchantress here for EG, as we've seen those drop off heavily. Okay. But this does give you some extra mobility to maybe step away from those bouncing bombs, not to mention the shields to catch them. And also
giving King the help, the resources, the prop up you need, man. Jinx with an Enchanter is insane if you can get ahead.
Not just that though, but also Lulu specifically does buff up Azir quite a bit if you do decide to drop a W on Azir. I know that we've seen a lot of Azir Jinx Milio cores. Milio, that W doesn't extend the range on the Sand Soldiers for Azir, but you do get a big attack speed steroid from Lulu's W if you do drop that on Azir. So 2 targets for Smoothie.
I think Dark Wings is Ezreal mid.
Is Ezreal mid? Okay.
I think it's Ezreal mid. Let's go. Okay. So, Ryoma gonna have an interesting matchup. I don't know how this one goes specifically, but Lynx is right back on comfort down there with Ziggs bot.
I'm curious about this one. I mean, in theory, I've always kind of liked Ezreal mid because Ezreal does scale really hard with levels, and you can stay at bay. But this is the first time I've seen it. Looks like it's going to be a Shiv for this Ezreal. So maybe just a way for them to find Shiv when Tristan is not on the board, as we'll see if Darkwings can take full advantage.
Well, we're kicking off our last game of the day on the kickoff of round 2 of the round robin. AOE have already smacked EGC upside the head. They took game number 1. Now, what is the comeback? What does this series culminate in? Evil Geniuses versus AOE. Game 2 kicks off. Make sure you're spamming in chat EGC for Evil Geniuses or AOE. You want AOE to win.
Very interesting here. As we have... I would expect Sejuani to path up towards this Cassante lane. Jax can get priority into the Cassante, and Sejuani, of course, can really change up that matchup. But curious if Shaden decides to match, or if he goes towards this bot side to almost protect this Lulu plus Jinx. As some info, see if Will has to step into his bot side here. Yeah, he does. So he's going to be working up towards the top side, and Shaden will match as well.
See what this pathing leads to early, but all eyes have been for this series. The entrance of Surdy back into the league was a sub sitting over there on Team Liquid Challengers, but now has the starting spot with Evil Geniuses and facing up against an old frenemy in Concept.
Sidestep here from Ryoma. You can see Darkwing is getting some really shove with the Ezreal. Still really curious to see how this matchup's going to work in the long haul. Definitely a unique flavor here, as Ezreal's been a pick I've been asking for into some Xayah Aphelios, just to play around with range. Curious to see it mid, as Darkwings will do his best to continue that champion ocean that Darkwings has really always had, as yet another unique champion for him played this split.
Be pretty big, but we'll see how that all pans out, as mid lane probably not the biggest focus yet. As maybe that does change as time goes on. But right now, Concept looking to dirty farm that wave here on to Surdy. Maybe not actually, just goes around, delays it a little bit. That wave should try to crash on the second one. You do have the path leading a little bit faster for Will on the Sejuani, as the clear speed is just that quick.
kind of bluff a ward by doing that up there. So maybe Shaden will think he's warded out if he does show on those topside camps as Ryoma. It's very aggressive.
Not going to take too much of his health down, as a nice even trades between the two mid laners thus far. Checking in and back to Will, who'll be doing his blue now, and full clear having come through. Maybe Shaden looks for a bit of aggression as the ward does come down, and he's hovering back around mid lane. UV2 push in bot to King, and Smoothie should crash this into bottom lane turret. I do want to look back mid.
Shaden not able to find anything here, and the plant actually opens things up for Will. It will not be a red buff here for Shaden to get this crab. Will is level 4, but that soccer ball will chase him out. Will be the bot crab, will be the target for the side of AOE, as the bot lane's actually pressuring a bit here. Hand down there.
Ooh. Ryoma going for it in the 2v2 down here. Now another 2v2 takes off as Smoothie and King stepping up. Got a lot of the support that the Enchanter brings to the table, but Lynx has been on one on this Zig. While we do have a catch out from Will and Shaden, he's got to try to get out of here, but only has the flash unless it's a little angle with the Arctic Assault. Does make it out alive.
Well done by Will to get out of there, but even better from Shaden, just pathing to make sure that both crabs go over to him. This will delay his red buff secure and that second spawn as well. But I'd say job done here for the side of Shaden. Just getting both crabs in the Maokai, rather nice. You see Ryoma playing very aggressively in this matchup, kind of trusting his hands to not eat those Qs and have the empowered W damage go in, as that's really making a big difference here in the mid lane.
Darkwing's taking heavy trades, but still actually willing to step up in the moment there to get some of that farm in. But the wave state has been in a very chaotic one so far for him.
He's going to eat the sap damage there too.
Spot out Shaden though. Some information given over to AOE. We have dragons spawning here pretty soon. AOE are fluctuating around this bottom side. We wonder if they want to lead that into an early objective.
I think Will's going to clean up these couple camps on the top side because he does have that respawn Raptors coming up. And his Wolves and Gromp are already back, Mazel. So I think given how delayed Shaden is actually on this timer, I like how Breezy is somewhat looking for mid push because I think if they are able to find bot push, this should be Dragon going over to AoE. Given where Shaden is on the map and how late he is to getting to his respawn camps on the bot side. This is a window that AoE could look to punish, but will... no, instead actually going to work his way to the top side. That lane state up top is pretty tough for Surdy as he just TP'd back. I'll have to fix that one. So maybe Shaden or Will can find a punish up there.
Elma still taking those heavy trades. And now, speaking of, every time we do, Smoothie, it's almost all of his health bar taken out by Lynx and Breezy.
Nice combo there, as Lynx has yet to burn that TP back. So you can keep on trading really aggressively here on the side of AoE and use that TP to get back into the lane. Another timer that they could look to use to take the dragon, as looks like Shaden has actually reversed his pathing. So keep in mind that first clear he did was bot to top, but now hitting those Raptors, he's going to be working towards that bot side to support this Jinx Lulu. Have been under siege thanks to some good play from AoE.
These push-ins is actually super important, but I do wonder how much these early advantages mean for both sides. I know last game we were talking for EG, they needed to get their solo lanes ahead and have Shaden very proactive. Here is a bit of a different story in game number 2. I feel like both teams are pretty reliant on some stability. As speaking of stability, Ryoma won't find the stable wall there and dies the first blood to Will. Darkwings with a beautiful execution. Oh, bot lane. Oh, Smoothie just dies under tower to Breezy.
I am very surprised at what I just witnessed mid, to say the least. Mazel. Ezreal has 2 dashes. If your first one beats Ezreal, he can always get out if he E's and flashes, as Darkwings does decide to match this. Gonna take another look. This is very ambitious from Ryoma, as... So here we have E, and then we have the flash.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
It's 2 dashes versus 1. Use the E to go in even. He's got 2 left.
And we got to look at bot lane too. Breezy, yeah, we saw this from a mile away at that point, even if we didn't see it live. What an early stop from AoE, honestly, and just jumping from strength to strength for this AoE roster. This will be a blast.
All right, that's a good impression there. I That's tough. We have a nice gold lead now for the side of AOE in a couple of their lanes. Kill going over to Will too. Not all bad. As Ryoma, he's now down a flash, down
No.
all.
Run away. Okay. All right. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Also, everything would be fine. You're making sure to use your hashtag NACL on your tweets, because then we'll see your tweets on live, and maybe I'll do another impression.
Here we go.
So shout outs to AOE and shout outs to them on mid lane, as Darkwings picks up his first kill of the game, and AOE are just running smooth as a ship.
It's just good legal legends coming out of AOE, man. Breezy shows up, gets the E out of his zero. They know he doesn't have flash or ult still, so then Will visits right after, finds the free ult. Easy peasy.
Concept with the solo, but the all-out comes through, and he got a lot of healing from Surdy. This is what we wanted, some fighting between the top laners. But for now, nothing will happen. No blood will be shed. The Dragons, though, I can't speak about that. Shaden,
yeah,
secure that for EG.
Part of Surdy there was scared that Will could be top lane instead of on the Herald, so he opts to get on out of there. But Will is on the Herald. We'll be taking that on time. Shaden answering with the Dragon, but Breezy now is walking up. They could even try and get frisky here if they really want to. Like, Ziggs does a lot of damage, man.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. That ult is enough wide spacing the birth of EG on their first Dragon.
All right, well, Mountain Dragon for EG does feel okay, but still it's a 2k gold lead to the side of AOE as Shaden. Okay, we have a look on the lane.
That's an angle there, and Breezy just tries to catch, but he can't do it, and Lynx, it just went down. No savior today. King gets EG on the table and in the conversation.
Good CC chain coming out from EG. I do want to praise Smoothie. Flash was available for Lynx there at any point, but the Polymorph made sure that he wasn't able to flash out of those choppers that were getting prepared. So Lynx holds on to that Summoner spell. He goes down, and EG at least gets something on the board here for King, who is that Jinx, so can be scary later into the game.
You also see Static Shiv completed there for Darkwings very early on. Is a cheaper item, but still gives a lot of strength to Ezreal earlier on. Will knows exactly where he needs to be headed, potentially with this Rift Herald, as that should go to one either Darkwings or Lynx. Who do you want to see smile on Christmas? Darkwings or Lynx?
Honestly, the bot Ziggs. I would much rather live in a world where we have bot Ziggs than mid Ezreal.
Yeah, you don't want Ezreal okay. Jungle? What about Ezreal jungle?
Well, that was a dark world.
That was the dark age of technology.
I'm remembering like there was old Ezreal, AP Ezreal with a W. That was with some of the blue items mid. That
so was dirty.
That was.
Oh gosh. Well, looks like you don't get your wish because Darkwings got the delivery. And he's going to be the happy kid on Christmas. Well, they got the True Shot Barrage that goes wide there. You're not too happy about that one. Breezy is locked out, and you got the Emperor's Divide right back into the turret. A decent amount of poke damage coming from Lynx and Darkwings, though, but it's still Breezy who goes down. EG showing some life here in game 2, but they can't get caught out under turret, and that turret's about to fall to a satchel charge.
I do really like that fight take from EG. I feel like the terrain around there, yeah, Ryoma was able to go in and shuffle, but he wasn't really able to be hit by all too
goodness
much.
Gracious.
Okay.
All plates.
Is fun, man. First
turret given to both Lynx and Darkwings, like best of both worlds going on.
And there's a TP bot as you get to play with double TPs. Take another look. Again, I think it's a decent take. I mean, Darkwings ease over the wall, so he's never able to auto. He's only able to throw out some Qs. Yeah, this comes in from Lynx, but again, Ryoma, he was able to get in here. Yeah, he burned his flash out, but I think it's a decent take. Overall, EG trading up. Shaden used minion, the Taxion out, the Twisted Advance. Love to see that from our Maokai players as well. And EG will take that as the gold gap is still tough, given that it is a Ziggs.
It's feeling like last game.
Taking a lot of points.
Like, it's literally just the slow and steady buildup of AOE, and right now, both these games are feeling like mirrors to some extent, even with different lanes, different advantages. And I through all this, I know we tried to talk about it earlier, did want to talk, it's a side lane, yeah, I know we don't focus it. But concept has been crucial in the fact that AOE don't have to deal with Surdy, and the side lane is shut down, and it gives so many rooms and avenues forward for AOE gold.
Oh boy. I mean, I'm trying to think of ways that EG get back in this game as L, and it's got to be all your ships on the king. No?
You have to.
Is that where we're at?
I would say so. Yeah, either that or try to find an insane pick out of some sort. Get Ryoma to have a big Emperor's Divide to pick out Darkwings and Lynx, but even then becomes even difficult. We have the crown that did get completed from Ryoma, so a little bit of defensive nature coming through. But it's AOE's world, and EG are just living in it.
Crown can be easily poked off, though, by Ziggs Ezreal.
It did just now.
So, yeah, Ryoma lost it. Likely to be on Nashers, though, coming up next. So a lot of focus on the front line, helping King get that first reset. If EG do go full DPS items, 2-3 items are very scary for their comp going into AoE. So honestly, this game, I think given the Ezreal, I mean, I haven't really seen this Ezreal build. I think it's okay that it has gotten a little bit ahead early, because I'm going to guess that later in the game, not quite as good. But, oh boy.
Don't do it. Oh. Okay. It's actually really good flash from King right there. Love the mechanics.
It was necessary, Mazel.
Yeah, but you know, you got to be quick on the trigger. Shaden's pretty quick on the trigger of the Nature's Grasp, trying to get the excited, or King won't be able to get the damage down on AoE, or they're trying to catch out. So that's a big spacing ulti gone.
Darkwings was there first, so no follow-up from EG, as follow-up to that play would likely be a Shurima shuffle. Not an option, though, as that goes waywards in AoE. Burning those cooldowns from EG, looks like a free dragon for them.
Really nicely done in terms of the movement as a whole from AoE. And that's 2 games in a row where they find a very strong lead earlier on in the game. This one a lot earlier, feels like, just cresting over that 14.5-minute mark. We also have a Hex Soul on the map, so maybe a little bit of dragon presence taking priority.
Be big, especially for AoE, given all the poke they have, if they are able to secure that. That would be trouble for EG, to say the least. So, emphasis on the dragons goes up as the gates are open, Mazel. And at the moment, AoE still trying to open up this map. They got 1 or 2 more outer turrets to go. Surprised that their sights are not set faster on this top side. Herald is up and available. Darkwings just have that empowered TP up, so if he needs to join this fight, he can. That's another nice part about bot Ziggs Mazel. You can take TP on that champion. He was able to TP back in the mid lane, made sure they had priority for this, and now Darkwings can also answer, so always able to play 3 lanes, as at the moment Darkwings is going to try and outplay this.
They're going to get the TP back, though, because Concept had the other TP available, and now Darkwings could TP to the other side of the map. That's what you get when you have all these TPs.
That'd be hilarious.
And what like he did, he's literally happening.
Oh my god.
Dude, this is the power. You have given so much decision making, as Satchel Charge should get that tower, but Lynx will go down immediately after. Luckily, King gets the kill, and that's where you need the gold. It's all King or all nothing. As Breezy gets stopped on the Hex Gate. Will made it out, but Breezy maybe not so lucky. True Shot Barrage comes across, pulls Surdy off of it, and Darkwings has a lot of kiting ability here. Will burn that Glacial Prison, but Darkwings makes it out.
While this is going on, Concept's going to take that outer turret for himself in the bot side. He's on the Jack, so AoE is still able to find positive plays even when EG makes a play. Lynx for sure overextending in the mid lane. Goes down to a good pick from EG, but they aren't able to really get anything on the map just due to the priority that AoE has in the lanes right now and how they're utilizing these TPs. A lot burned, though, so we'll see if EG can answer back now, as they will have that empowered TP up for Surdy soon, and there will be a window where Darkwings and Concept can't respond.
Darkwings looking at this outer tower, though. A final resting place on the outside of their base for EG. Ryoma and Shaden want to capitalize. Here he comes. He's trying to get the flash out early. Luckily, this time he doesn't use that Emperor's Divide. The tower still falls, though.
What? The local gold didn't go over to Ezreal, so it's all worth it.
Look at that.
Baby. Deny that local gold. Trade flash for flash. That's where it's at.
That is where it's at. As, now, next up, Will have to be burning this Rift Herald very shortly. Wonder where he wants to put that gold in, and wonder where he can even do so. It's got to be a side lane tier 2. And it's got to be to either Darkwings or Lynx.
Here on Challengers League, we get hyped about local gold being denied when there's nothing else to be hyped about. Welcome to LCS.
Be hyped if you're an AoE fan.
I mean, that's no bias on the caster-esque here, Mazel. Come on.
Well, I said if you're an AoE. I didn't say
we want some good League of Legends.
I'm a fan of the best League of Legends, and right now, that's AOE.
Okay.
No, it's
Ziggs
tier
Gaming.
2 down here. Another Ziggs Gaming moment. And you do potentially have another charge on an inhib tower here. As King and Smoothie and Surdy are the only defenses available, but the siege is potent from AOE. See the charge actually go through, and they should just get another Satchel charge. Look at that. They didn't even need it at that point. You get a response from Ryoma in the top side, but he does not have TP to come join the fight. Darkwings is over there in response. AOE crack an inhib tower in bot lane.
AOE's making Ziggs look really broken. I gotta say, it's pretty impressive how fast they've been able to snowball these games forward. As Lynx, I think, has been a little bit swept on this split. Continues to really perform as Breezy's gonna get caught.
Ooh, a lot of damage from Lynx though on the back end. Will going for the Arctic, and he does find King in the end. That's Flash Bird. King maybe looking to turn around though, try to find something as his ghost has just come up, but it's just defensive nature from the Sun Disc of EG and make them safe.
And Will got a 3-for-1 special with that ult, man. That was close to being Wendy's 4-for-4 there. As Flash Burn from Smoothie King and Shaden gonna open things up here for AOE. That Dragon's up in 25 seconds. You gotta imagine that's gonna be going over to them. Look at the lanes right now. Concept shoving out bot. Full reset from AOE. They're able to port back to the Dragon where they have first say. And fighting into Ziggs Ezreal, not a winning formula, especially when you don't have flashes.
It's very difficult, and it's even more difficult when you are the one starting up the objective, because then you just give them so much hope coming in early on, and it just becomes that much harder to come.
It's a sack. It's play for topside time. Trying to get a pick on the Darkwings. I think is the right call from EG. There's no way that you can sniff that turret. We'll see if Darkwings is wiser to it.
I love that you just keep using sniff. Just imagine you go smelling things around Summoner's Rift. We'll see if EG can smell out AOE's gank here. You got double TPs coming in from both sides. Shaden getting very low. Mega Inferno Bomb with the True Shot barrage. Shaden goes down to Lynx with the snipe of a bomb. As King was nowhere to be found in the fight, Ryoma gets stopped by Will as well. Breezy stepped up. Nipper's Divide used defensively, and there won't be a setup unless King makes one for himself. Pop a couple shots into Concept, but EG survived to tell the tale another day.
I mean, Breezy lives. That was really who was caught out at the start. Able to find Shaden too. The Ziggs damage, man, from over the top. It's just way too much for EG to deal with. I really don't know what to say. All this damage coming in from Ziggs, man, it's thick.
It is pretty thick. A little bit like molasses at this point, but maybe not as slow, as it has been a pretty fast-paced advantage gain by AOE 20 minutes in. You do have that dragon up now. It'll be just second one for either side, but AOE are point and present to get this one under their belts.
The game drags out. EGC can book themselves a free win. Okay, maybe. We do have some Jinx, Azir, Lulu Gaming, but we're seeing the work that this Ziggs is getting done, man. This is the sprint towards death cap yet again for the Ziggs. As still a ways to go for EG. King has actually opted for the Infinity Edge on the Jinx.
Yeah.
So looking for that extra crit damage. Won't have anything like a Gale Force to get away from a Nautilus Ziggs combo. Gonna have to rely on the Lulu to help him out with that, and a potential stopwatch to be picked up later. Whereas Ryoma getting close to that Nash's Tooth. Maybe that's a spike where we could see EG just be a little bit more of a pest. As okay, King, hold on.
I have seen crazier comebacks. Right now, the catch out is going to come through, and you've got the lockdown as well. Lynx gets pushed in. Lynx is caught out, but you still have the double carry comp at 30. He's a little bit low. You got AOE want to back away, though. This could be a nice front to back for EG. They'll back out, though, and Mega Inferno, that's not there, as you do have damage on Breezy, and you have the follow-up, the excited King, and he had that IE. Now he's carving away at AOE. Baron potentially on the table here. Shaden's coming back from base. I heckin' love Arcane. He's already here.
I can't believe that EG just made that look so easy. As Shaden goes in, King was able to free fire there at the start.
And will make the difference. Can he get the steal here? Will he even go for it? He cannot even touch the pit, but they still get caught in the end. Darkwings, that can't happen. And EG have reared their big old mean head, and they are starting to take away this advantage that AOE so delicately carved until King gets caught. What is this carousel of madness that we have in front of us? As Surdy's getting run down by AOE. Concept wants to say hi to his friend and give EG a warm welcome to their new style. Got a catch out here. Nicely done. Nicely done. As the TP for Rayo, but the damage was there. And Surdy gets the kill. And we have not stopped. But finally, as the dust settles, it's EG with a Baron and multiple catch-outs.
Oh, okay, hold on.
We don't get to stop. We don't get to stop. Ryoma will flash. He dashes. The shifting sands have stood the test of time, and the back comes through.
All right, the Turtle Baron buff on the shoulders of EG as they get most of the people out, and they are driving themselves right back into this game, Mazel. I gotta take another look at how that fight started. Look at this engage from Shaden. Lynx is on mid-wave. Hold on. Yeah, Lynx is on mid-wave. Gets scooped in by Ryoma. And then in this choke, no one's really able to get past Surdy. Look at how much space Surdy's taking up. Ziggs was already down. King actually stepped up and found some damage on the Darkwings. I think that was a big difference.
Yeah.
That just forces Darkwings back. And the amount of damage that King was able to do in that fight, in that choke, AOE wasn't able to push through that. EG got the front to back they were looking for, but Ziggs off the table. Great find from Shaden and Ryoma. For Shaden to really force that by the space that King needed. And the Ryoma, of course, to find the scoop and score on the Lynx. As this fight continues, props 30, Q flash. That gets Darkwings. He gets one shot on the Ezreal. And then, you know, keeps on going. Will gets traded out. Some wildness going on. King was trying to port out.
Oh my goodness.
Wasn't quite able to do that. That was a bit of a bummer on the side of King. But wow.
There was so much standing gold left on the map, though, for EG. And now we are even game state. As maybe tweet? Looking back to that tweet, there might have been some big brain there, as it is EG who have roared to life here and are looking to split this series, at least even Darkwings, though. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy cow! Darkwings and Lynx combined for the alley-oop!
Lynx just dropped a bomb on everyone. That was so much damage coming in from the Ziggs. EG already have to head for the hills. You can still see the dangers of fighting into this Ziggs if you do overextend Mazel. And AOE still has some fight left.
My goodness, what a gold graph there. As EG were not counted out. They have been fighting. They have the Hextech Rip plus Jinx from Arcane. The fate is set at this point for them to have some say in this game. But the thing is, timers are coming. 35 seconds for a dragon, and AOE could have soul point.
I have a feeling that this is going to be going on for a little bit longer. I think that the last game of the day, I think we're kind of in for one here. Just a gut feeling. Just a hunch.
See if that hunch is correct.
I see Ziggs, I see Ezreal, I see Azir, I see Jinx. I think we at least got another 10 minutes.
The thing is, you also look at the last little series of events and how much EG raked back from AOE.
That's true.
In just those short moments. They have such a snowbally decisive comp, and they're deciding to start up the dragon right now.
Breezy was spotted trying to work around EG here, as he will be the angle in the engage. See, then collapse.
They're going to go in. Concept, there's an Arctic. Oh, nope, not going to find the engage there. True shot barrage, though, yet again. And Breezy, he finds the backline. Smoothie in some trouble. King, he can't kite away enough. He survives. He gets the fadeaway shot. He goes excited. Mega Death Rocket does go through in Concept. He gets out by the skin of his teeth, but Ryoma shuts him out. EG are fighting it back. And EG, no, they've left Ryoma out. Oh, no. A bit of a disconnect in the end, and a shutdown goes to Will.
Ryoma was trying to clean up the fight, but King was too low. He couldn't wrap around and get involved. As we take another look, Breezy's angle here is damn good. I'm still looking, where was the bomb from Lynx? When I see Nautilus all connect onto King, that's my signal for the Ziggs to press R, but no. Lynx, okay, steps behind Will. Here comes the combo onto King. Oh, the bomb ended up short. It ends up going on to just the tanks. Didn't find King in the back half, in the center, where you want to find it with an Nautilus. And Ryoma feels this fight really well with King to make sure that the resets come in. It's just on the back half, Ryoma pushes a little bit too far forward. They do get the flash out of Darkwings, but he puts himself in a poor position, goes down to Will, who finds the shutdown. This game continues to be a back and forth slugfest, Mazel, as EG crawling back into this, but still have to be very careful going into what AOE has. I think a big key for EG moving forward, Bloodthirster completed onto King, so that poke's not going to hit nearly as hard from AOE.
You got the Zanyas also for Ryoma. Third Iron Spikes. Fisticuffs are even here. And we have a fight on our hands to give out this last victory of the day. Here to kick off our second round robin. AOE are just struggling to find another foothold to crush EG. EG have steadily fought back. This is a new roster. This is Surdy joining the team back home with Evil Geniuses, and they do not want to give up on this victory.
Will has Flash. There's no McHale's yet for Smoothie. I want to see if AoE can try to find King in the back half. There are no summoner spells available for this Jinx. If Will's able to find a good Flash plan to King, that's how AoE can get back into this one. If he's able to sync up with Lynx, that's where we can take one of the carries out of EG out of this fight before it starts. That's the power of the Ziggs with the point and clicks.
Oh, they're going in. Ryoma, he gets a pick on a Breezy, but he has to go golden immediately. You got the Nature's Grasp coming back in, but the Truth Shot barrage is huge. Darkwings has set the tempo, and it's AoE. We're following through. Lynx is popping in some long-distance shots, and Darkwing flashing for a second kill. Can't find the third just yet, but that's 3 members of EG down, and the fight does not go their way. Now AoE are looking to bang on the base.
With this build with the Azir, I feel like you want the Azir to be DPSing, auto-attacking, not exactly going in as Ryoma gives away his life. They were able to sync up on the back half. That's the game.
That could just be the game. They built such a strong lead. EG fought back, but the fight is not enough. Surdy is trying to be the wall that stops AoE's golden advance, but there's no wall left. It's crumbling apart, and they give a nice warm welcome to Surdy back into the league. A 2-0 for AoE Gold, and what a series of events and the growth from this team, Cubby.
This is a team where, like, we looked at it with Will and Breezy. We're like, how did AoE only manage to net 7 wins in that first split, or 6 wins in that first round robin, right? We felt like this was a team that was going to give us more. AoE showing it there, finding a 2-0. I love the Ziggs flex with Lynx. I feel like Lynx played really well in that series. And a marksman that was a big part of AoE's success in spring. I feel like it's still been playing all right in summer, a little bit slept on. Able to show up there with Will and Breeze, who have been playing well, I think, all split. And Darkwing stepping up with that Tristana game 1, AoE, and just find 2-0.
Surdy said in the interview, you know, they're not playing to the sum of their parts. Mechanically, they are all so strong. Well, they showed up in force today. We're going to sit into a little break. We'll have our final Horizon post-game interview with Kangas and a winning member from AoE. We'll see you there.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Verizon post-game interview. I have Concept joining us after a 2-0 sweep over Evil Geniuses. Congratulations, first of all, on picking up the win, Concept.
Thank you, thank you. It's hard fought by the team.
Hard fought by the team. I'm happy you mentioned the team, everybody working together, and it's a newer team. This is our first time getting to chat with you in the summer split on broadcast. So I want to start there. What's it been like playing with a new set of players?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, every split, I think it's just really fun getting on a new team. That's what I like about this job, honestly, the most. Just playing with teammates, knowing my teammates, you know, because I love League and I love solo queue, but that really, I think, is everything to me about the professional job. And yeah, like I've really loved playing with my teammates.
It's a team game, right? A lot of times people forget because it's such a simple concept, but you do need everyone to work together. How do you feel you slot into like new rosters when they're put together or getting to know new teammates? Are you like the guys cracking jokes that's getting everybody feeling comfortable?
Yeah, I would definitely say that I've always probably valued like the importance of teamwork and being close as a team a lot more than a lot of players. I think really that is what ends up being the differentiator in a lot of the teams in this league. Yeah, I've been here for this is my 4th split, so yeah, I've definitely seen that is really important. I've been really working every split to do better with that, and I think this split I think I've been doing a good job for sure in helping the team get together and work together.
Yeah, you got a new look too. You're looking more like me these days. How long you been rocking this haircut?
Oh, I mean, I actually shaved my head. I was just like you actually a few weeks ago, and then I decided that I was done shaving my head, and I'm growing it out now.
Oh, come on, hear me out. It's a good look. You know, it's in right now.
I love it. I love it, but it's too much work shaving my head. I'd rather just let my hair grow, you know?
Yeah, true. But it's worth it. That's what I always say.
It could be worth it for a lot of people, but you know, I guess, yeah. I'm a minimalist.
Well, you're looking great. You're looking great. And the team is playing well together. You were up against Surdy, top lane opponent. Now, I know that you and him have a little bit of history. You've played against each other as long as you've been in the league, as you said, for the past, like, 3.5 splits here. But now he's just joining us in summer. So what was it like? And how, in general, is it like playing against Surdy as a competitor?
Oh, I mean, Surdy's always been a good competitor. We're friends outside of the game too, and
I've heard,
yeah, I
yeah.
love him, and I thought he played pretty well today. It was definitely tough losing both games, but yeah, you know, I love Surdy, and I'm glad that he's back.
Well, let's see if I can stoke the flame and maybe ruin some of that brotherly love, because we actually interviewed him earlier, and he said, verbatim, you better ban 5 champs against him like you always do. Do you have any retort now that you pulled out the Jax 2 games in a row and picked up the win?
No retort. I love Surdy. He can say what he wants. I'll always be there for him, you know? No matter what he wants to say,
So
I'm here to
wholesome.
listen.
So wholesome. It's incredible. All right, well, we'll make sure that Surdy gets the message then. I think he was trying to stoke some flames to you to get some banter out of you, but happy to see you keeping calm and collected. I want to chat a little bit about where you see the team going in summer now, because this is the beginning of the second round robin. Off to a great start, but let's be honest, the first round robin did not go super well for AOE, especially the end of it. So where do you see yourselves right now, and how is the team focused on improving heading into a potential playoff scenario?
Oh, well, we've been doing a lot more recently. I think at first, yeah, the first round robin was definitely pretty tough for the team, but we finally started to kind of struggle together and really have made a lot of improvements already, as you can see here. I think our team has so much more room to grow. I believed in us the whole time, but you know, it definitely, yeah, it took us a bit to get going, but I'm very confident now that we'll be the best team. We'll be the best.
Can you give an example of something you've been working on? Maybe either yourself personally or that the team's been focused on, because this did look like a much more cohesive team as opposed to what we just saw last weekend even.
Communication, for sure. We definitely have a lot of newer players. Like our mid jungle are relatively young players, and we've had a lot to work on as far as communication throughout the whole game. And I think we finally, in this past week, have making a lot of progress, and it'll be like we're having a lot more fun, and I'm sure that we'll continue to make progress.
Who's leading the conversations? Who's the one, like the driving voice of the team right now?
I wouldn't. I guess I've probably talked the most. A lot of people on my team are pretty quiet, so then I end up talking it in the void. But I wouldn't say that like I'm the leading voice or anything. Communication is like more about listening than it is about speaking, in my opinion. So, you know.
That's the most leader answer I could think of. You gotta own that concept. Be like, that's me, baby. I'm the one that talks. I'm telling you.
I think everybody has something different to bring to the team. So, you know, I wouldn't think of it like that. But thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Concept. I like to close these out with a fun one, so I'm going to give you a hypothetical here. I've been asking a lot of people questions similar to see who's willing to put in the performance to truly be a millionaire. I give you $1 million in cash in a briefcase right now, untaxed. It's a lot of money, but every single stage game, you have to wear that exact tank top, and you can't wash it for the rest of your life. You take the money.
No.
No!
I don't believe in it.
You don't believe in it? In money or in the deal?
Money is money, you know, but the choices I make, like, I don't believe in having other people make choices for me, you know? I think freedom is the most important thing.
That is a great answer. That's a based answer, Concept. Thank you for coming on. Any final shout-outs you want to give to anybody at home watching?
I honestly don't know. I think everyone that's watching, I think everyone, all the fans, that's who I play for, so yeah.
Thank everybody for supporting. And if you do think of any others, make sure to go follow Concept on Twitter. Thanks, Concept, for coming on. Congratulations on the win. And best of luck going into prep for your next games.
Thank you.
All right, we'll bring back on the casters here to close out the show. Cubby, he's not taking that $1 million. He doesn't let money do the talking.
Hey, you know what? Talked about freedom. That's a 4th of July answer right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's getting in the holiday spirit here.
Absolutely. Love to see it. I'm just going to say I would definitely take that money. I think for only stage games, I thought that was going to be one of those easy ones where I was like, I should have picked one harder.
I'm just saying, maybe. Concept might be the most based individual in NACL, all right? Like, this man was just perfect with his answers. He's so calm. He's so zen. It worked well, and what a performance from him to hold off Surdy, but AOE as a whole for a 2-0.
Absolutely. But let's take a look at the updated standings at the end of the day, because Path to LCS wrapped a bit ago, so we have all of the updated standings. Woo! There is still a tie for second place. Wildcard could not get ahead of FlyQuest Challengers here, as we have 12 and 8 for both of them. But again, Team Liquid did drop that one game to Maryville, who find themselves in 6th place, technically bottom of the standings based on alphabetical order. We'll have to see who's got the head-to-heads to truly be ahead in this 10v10. But Mazel, any big standouts here for you?
Just again, TLC, our lords and saviors, apparently at the top of the standings. I love to see some of this fight back given from Fear, where they came from before in the early parts of Split, Maryville as well. But I'm really looking at AOE now with a 2-0, stepping up a little bit. EG trying to bounce back for the rest of this weekend. And what Supernova and Team TV Shaco can do.
Yeah, Cubby, anything to add?
Yeah, I gotta say, the 2-0 today from FlyQuest Challengers was quite impressive over Disguise.
Yes.
Some stiff competition. I think the FlyQuest had a disappointing week last week. Again, I look back at that series against Maryville, and I watched both those games, and it was like, how did you not 2-0 Maryville? And how did you get 0-2'd? Yeah. It looks like FlyQuest went back to the shed with a couple days off you have in these really short weeks to prep, given that we have 3 match days in a row. And we're able to figure out something that helped them look really clean against a strong team in the league today in Disguise. So that 2-0 is a great way to start off their second round robin.
Fantastic to see the teams at the top still sticking it together. We don't have any clear outliers other than Team Liquid Honda Challengers, which are still top dogs. But that'll do it here for day 1 of week 4 for the LCS Challengers broadcast. A reminder that the LCS Challengers League is brought to you by Turo, the world's largest car-sharing marketplace, where you can book any car you want for just about any occasion. Forget about boring car rentals at Turo.com. Thank you so much for helping us out, and especially helping out the players. Also, you in chat, if you sub to the channel, don't forget this is the end of the month, or beginning of the month, so resub if you haven't already to help continue supporting the players.
Get an emote like the one down there.
Yeah. And we're, of course, going to go raid Eve, LOL.
Birthday
It's her
raid.
birthday.
Birthday
Everyone,
raid.
when we raid, go say happy birthday. Cub, you wanted to hop in?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's a birthday raid. Happy birthday, Eve. Feels birthday, man.
Feels birthday, man. We'll see you back. Same place, same time tomorrow for more NACL action.
The LCS Challengers League is brought to you by Turo, the world's largest car-sharing marketplace. Find your drive.